Last night, Cliff Lee was masterful, striking out 13 and holding the A's to just one unearned run. But the Rangers could score just one run off Gio Gonzalez and the A's bullpen. That is, until the bottom of the 10th when Nelly Cruz headed to the plate.
Crushed to left field. Walk it off, baby. Ball game.
So who will be the hero tonight? There are plenty of candidates who can answer that call. It's the Rangers and the A's with pennant fever upon us in Arlington. It's now on Fox Sports Southwest. Nelly Cruz robbed an Oakland A of a two-run homer yesterday, and then he beat the Oakland A's with a two-run homer. The Rangers with an exciting walk-off yesterday and getting to 8.5 games up in the West over the A's, 9 now over the L.A. Angels of Anaheim. We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball. He's Tom Grieve. I'm Josh Lewin, and we're looking forward, obviously, to Colby Lewis tonight. It wouldn't be half bad if he can do half of what Cliff Lee did yesterday.
Yeah, with Cliff Lee taking the lead, the Ranger rotation really is coming into its own. Last night, Cliff obviously pitched well enough to win the ball game. 9 innings, 13 strikeouts, only 1 unearned run. Rangers don't get into extra innings and have a chance to win without that masterful performance. And as you said, tonight it's Colby's turn.
Yep, the other guy with the initials CL will try to replicate at least part of that. 13 strikeouts was just unreal to watch yesterday. Slicing and dicing the Oakland A's almost beyond recognition was Cliff Lee. We'll see if the right-handed Colby Lewis can come close to that when we come back. Game 2 of the Rangers and the A's series coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. .50 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas by Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Buy Jack in the Box. Get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo for only $3.99 plus tax. And buy Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. So Nelson Cruz yesterday ends up winning that ball game for the Rangers in the bottom of the 10th. Tonight is the anniversary of when the Rangers actually acquired Nelson Cruz. July the 28th of 2006, the lesser-known name in the deal for Carlos Lee, not Cliff Lee. That, of course, is the Lee of note of late. But Colby Lewis gets a chance to go out there tonight, and just like Cliff Lee was doing yesterday, gun for his 10th win. He didn't get it last night. Cliff Lee went 9, but the Rangers needed 10. Colby, a one-time Oakland Athletic, taking on Chris, Barton, and Suzuki. Then Cust, Kuzmanoff, and Ellis, Watson, Davis, and Pennington. That is the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Bob Guerin. The A's are 50-49 up against the Cobra. Here is the Suzuki scouting report.
Well, Colby's season has gone very well. He's 9-6, solid ERA, less hits than innings pitched by a mile. A lot of strikeouts, pitched very well in this ballpark, almost exactly how he's pitched on the road. His opponent's batting average, 4th toughest guy to hit in the league, especially when there's men in scoring position. He's got the 2nd best opponent's batting average, 168 with runners in scoring position. That's why he's pitching so well.
Outside to get the night going, C.B. Buckner is the home plate umpire tonight. Playing on an 84-degree night with a bit of a breeze blowing tonight. Flags are pointing right to left. Well, Colby Lewis comes in tonight with the 18th best ERA in the American League. There are 3 Rangers right now who qualify that are in the top 20. If Tommy Hunter had a few more innings, he'd be the 4th to be among the top 20. Actually, Tommy would be among the top 2, right next to Cliff Lee. But Tag, as you look forward to what could be a first for the Rangers since 1999, hoping for that push into the playoffs, to go in there and forgetting about Tommy Hunter, I guess, if you want to have the numbers 1, 9, and 18 ERAs in the league in your starting rotation. That's Lee, C.J. Wilson, and Colby Lewis. Borbon will make the catch.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And what that tells you is the Rangers now have a starting staff that no one has to shy away from in postseason play. It should be the kind of staff that gets you to postseason play. It should be the kind of staff that stacks up well against anybody in postseason play. You know, that's what the Rangers expect, and the stats bear that out pretty much.
I went and looked at when the Rangers went in 1999, the last time obviously they have been to the postseason. They didn't have anybody in the top 20. Their top 3 guys were number 22, number 28, and number 49 in the American League. So you're going in there for battle with water guns doing that. Yeah,
it pretty much tells you that throughout the course of the season, the Rangers had a representative staff, but that they outscored their opponents pretty much day in and day out to get to postseason play. They probably had 1 through 5, a solid group of 5 starters, but in postseason play, it's how good are your top 3, basically. And if your top 3 aren't in the top 20 in ERA, chances are you don't stack up very well against the Yankees.
Yeah, and the Yankees went in there with El Duque, Andy Pettitte, and Roger Clemens, and they were top 20 guys.
Right.
Well, Cliff Lee, numero uno right now, ERA of 2.4. Everybody's still buzzing about what happened yesterday. He faced 32 batters, and he threw only 30 pitches out of the strike zone. So less than 1 ball in a count per batter.
And every time he had a 3-1 count, which wasn't very often, it was automatic that the next pitch was going to be a strike.
Barton, speaking of strikes, out of there, 2 away. Kurt Suzuki comes up next.
Well, that's a pitch that Barton missed last night, batting right-handed from Cliff Lee. The cutter on the outside corner. Cliff Lee brought that pitch back on the outside corner against Barton. Last night batting right-handed. Colby does it tonight batting left-handed.
From Cliff Lee, it was pretty much a professorial demonstration of how to locate a fastball. Talk about a guy just kind of holding a clinic on a subject. That's what he was doing.
You know, it sounds, I think, to some people like we're talking about Cliff Lee, like this is the first time we've ever seen this. It's not like this is new. This is what Cliff Lee has been doing for the last several years. It's just we've never got a chance to watch it up close, pitch after pitch like this, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. He's not doing anything new, though.
And Colby Lewis has just made a Xerox copy of it. A 1-2-3, top of the first. Elvis Andrus coming in to hit against Trevor Cahill in just a moment. Taking an 8.5 game lead in the AL West and trying to build on that tonight with the Angels already having lost to Boston. Andrus, Borbone, and Young started up. Then Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz. Molina, Davis, and Blanco in for Kinsler tonight. Been the first day off in a while for Kins. As the Southwest Airlines starting lineup. And Trevor Cahill is only 22 years old. Sure doesn't pitch like he's 22. Here's the Suzuki scouting report.
No, he has a real good idea of what he's doing out there for a young kid. 79 hits in 108 innings. That's a 204 opponent's batting average. That's the second best in the American League. 16 straight starts, at least 5 innings, and fewer than 6 hits. That's very rare, and it's pretty impressive that a 22-year-old is the one that's done it for the A's, and that streak is alive right now.
Yeah, he's the first A's pitcher ever to do that. 16 is a record. Kuzminoff with a belly flop wings it to first. That's a nice play. Had to submarine it across diamond, and he got it done. So very quickly, Elvis Andrus retired.
Well, Cahill is pitching his game. He'll get a lot of ground balls. He has an exceptional sinker, probably one of the better sinkers in the league, and he should get a lot of ground balls if he's keeping the ball down and the ball's doing what he wants it to do.
You mentioned that streak of 16 for Trevor Cahill, Tom, with the more than 5 innings and 6 hits or less. Nolan Ryan's got the major league record for that. In fact, he shares it with Mike Scott. That record is 20 such games in a row. And Cahill's got a shot to put himself with baseball royalty. And again, he's only 22. Borbone, a rare chance for him to hit second in the order. Only the second time he's done it this year. He, too, goes after a sinker.
Well, the one thing you can do when you've got that kind of a sinker is you really don't have to throw a lot of different pitches. You can just throw the sinker because it doesn't sink the same way every time. It's the kind of pitch that even if a hitter knows you're going to throw a sinker, if you get the good movement and keep it down, it's going to be pretty tough to do anything with it anyway.
Cahill's been masterful in first innings this year. He's only given up 1 first inning run all season. This is his 18th first inning. A lot of times you hear about guys who kind of struggle out of the gate. You got to get them early, they say. Not Cahill. Five pitches, and they've all been strikes. Michael scored the first inning run yesterday. Vlad Guerrero doubled. Dave Anderson aggressively deciding to send Michael Young, and he was barely safe. Which, of course, was the only Ranger run until the bottom of the 10th inning. From 0-2 to 3-2, Vlad Guerrero on deck. That RBI in the first inning for Vladdy yesterday, his first in 9 games. Taken, and Michael Young is down on strikes. Trevor Cahill once again just comes out of the chute, firing away. No score at the end of 1.
AT Child and Family Service. Wayne, tell us a little bit about your organization.
We're 95 years old. We've been serving children and families and providing a safe place for children to live since 1915 in Fort Worth. We have 14 different programs in 5 counties. It's one of my friends, Michael. He grew up with us, and he's a big Rangers fan as well as me.
Yeah, like the shirt, like the hat. Way to go, Michael. You see the information on the screen for those who want to help out. Go ahead and give them a call or send them an email. Appreciate it, Wayne. Thanks. Enjoy the game. Josh.
Thank you, Jim, very much, and welcome to your guests tonight. Jack Cust, the batter, and Jack Cust was not around for the end of the proceedings last night. Ripping that one foul.
Ooh, watch out.
Cust was called out on strikes for a 3rd time last night, and he seemed a bit aggravated about that. Let Kerwin Danley know of his displeasure, and Kerwin Danley said you can go watch from the clubhouse.
And the pitch was a curveball, and it really looked like it was inside. But when you looked at the pitch tracker, it was a lot closer to being a strike than it looked like. It actually was, close enough that it easily could have been called a strike.
Well, chances are if Cliff Lee throws it, it is going to be a strike.
Good changeup right there. Kobe has only pitched 3 times in the last 21 days. This time he's on 6 days rest. He pitched on the 7th, the 16th, 9 days later, the 21st, and now the 28th, 7 days later. So a lot of rest since around the All-Star break.
I think a lot of that is by design, too, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Keep him on the regimen he was accustomed to in Japan last year.
Yep. Kobe has pitched a lot early in the year. He's a workhorse. He's going out there for 110, 115 pitches. I think he's not hurt. The Rangers are just saying we want him very healthy and strong in September and hopefully in postseason play. And so we're going to be careful. We're going to give him a little more rest. I think it's a great idea.
Whoa, he's called out one more time. He's been up 4 times in Arlington, and all 4 times he's been told he's been caught window shopping.
Another backdoor breaking ball. This time a tight slider. It comes back and almost caught the outside corner. Pretty close. Anytime you're in that area, we can say, oh, that's not a strike, but it's within an inch or so, and no umpire's eye is good enough to discern that. It's around that plate by an inch or so. It can go either way, and I think umpires that favor a strike are actually doing the game a favor.
In this series so far, the A's have no walks and 16 strikeouts.
Love the no walks.
Oh, you certainly just expect it from Cliff Lee, almost to a point where you take it for granted. There's a 2-0 pop out by Kuzminov.
The Rangers have had nice pitching in this homestand. They're 4-1 on the homestand, and 3 of the 4 games have been 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2.
Yep.
So there's not much margin for error, and it's taken really good pitching to have this really good homestand.
And actually, over the last 6 games now, Tom, even with that big 6-run outburst that they had in one of them, they got 16 runs scored in their last 6 games. So what is that, about 2.5 a game? And somehow they've won 4 out of those 6.
Well, that's what you have to do to be a good team, because even a team with offense like the Rangers, when they face really good pitching, and the Angels starting pitching is really good, the A's starting pitching is really good, if you want to win the majority of your games when you're playing those kind of teams, you have to pitch well enough to keep the score down, because you're not going to get 5, 6, 7 runs against those kind of starting pitchers. And the Rangers are doing that. That's why they're a more well-rounded team, and why we say this is, in a lot of ways, the best Ranger team ever.
And did we mention they play defense? Lewis to the bag. He's there in time. Chris Davis puts a gold star ending on the top of the second. 6 up, 6 down against the Cobra. There is no score. Not sure. Vladimir Guerrero to lead it off in the bottom of the second inning. There hasn't been a base runner yet tonight. An expected pitcher's duel between Trevor Cahill and Colby Lewis. 3.15 ERA versus a 3.52 ERA. Obviously, last night, a pitcher's duel extraordinaire. Cliff Lee was the headline act. 13 strikeouts, no walks. Only one other Ranger's ever had a line like that. It was Nolan Ryan. Did it twice. Once in '89 and once in '90, and not since then. It's been 20 years since a Ranger had a no-walk, 13 strikeout game. Had a chance to talk to Cliff for a bit before the game tonight. Says he's getting settled. He's got his family with him. And his extended family They all live in Arkansas. They made what he said was a 4.5-hour drive in yesterday. They're hanging around to see the rest of this series, and Cliff says we can expect to see a lot of leaves the rest of the way.
Good.
Got a 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And he says, yeah, it is starting to feel like he thought it would be. A little bit like home. Vladdy takes a walk. He is the first, not only Ranger base runner, but for either side tonight. Finally got a guy on base. Josh Hamilton comes up. And Ranger fans, this year it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make. Go to StubHub.com, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Rangers.
She won't be falling asleep tonight. Get done with that cotton candy.
Cahill to Hamilton, strike one. Josh hitting .399 against righties. Just among the gaudy stats. They are everywhere regarding Josh. That right there is pretty unbelievable. 35 out of 36 home games. Big sweeping breaking ball for a strike.
Cahill throws a curveball and a slider along with his sinker. Brett Anderson, the lefty counterpart to Cahill, early 20s, is on the disabled list. But boy, those kids are both healthy and throwing well. You're going to get a pretty good look at what you're going to see in the American League West for many years to come. A team with two top-of-the-line young starters, Cahill and Anderson.
Gio Gonzalez, who we saw last night, is only 24.
Yep, right there with him.
And had it all gone well for the A's this year, we'll be talking about Ben Sheets and Justin Duchur as well. Sheets officially today shut down for the year.
Was he?
Yep. Not the A's are not going away, though. They've had all kinds of injury problems, but they're a game over 500, and they're certainly still in range.
The other guy, we'll see him in this series, Vin Mazzaro, in their rotation. He's only 23 years old.
Ellis lunging and did not, or did he? Yeah, they're going to say the out. Well, what are they going to say here? Yeah, they do get the double play. Dana DeMuth, the second base umpire, with a delayed call. But, yep, they're going to say that is only the 5th double play that Josh has hit into all year. Got him on the jersey.
As a base runner, if it's at all possible, you try to stop so he can't tag you. Hopefully he then throws to first to make sure he gets an out, and you can sneak into second. But that play just kind of coincided with Ellis fielding it right while Vladdy was there. There wasn't much Vladdy could do except try to dodge the tag, which he was unable to do.
Nelson with a 15-game hitting streak, and he punctuated that with the game-winning home run last night, his second ever walk-off homer. He kind of rolled that batter's helmet as he got towards home plate. Didn't seem like it was a rehearsed celebration of any sort, but it just kind of rolled right to the plate, right in front of him.
I heard Nelly on a sports show this afternoon talking about making the call. Finishing after this.
Yeah, the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. He told the guys, I'm going to do something here, and that's what he did.
And after he did it, he reminded them that he told them.
Shooting that one into right. It is a 16-game hitting streak for Nelly Cruz, a career high. And indeed, our Geico quote of the day. He backed up his words and then almost knocked everybody down at a home plate like they were 10 pins when he rolled that helmet. I showed you on YouTube the Icelandic soccer celebration. I still am waiting for something like that.
That's the all-time. The Brewers had a pretty good one last year. They did that bowling thing. Was it Prince Fielder?
Prince Fielder stomped on home plate. It was like he detonated everything around him. Yeah, and everybody just fell backwards. And The other team didn't think that was real humorous.
Well, the Icelandic soccer celebration, if you haven't seen it, you've got a computer, treat yourself to that one, because that's the all-timer.
Tom's all about YouTube and, you know.
No, you showed it to me. That's the only reason I found it. But
I would have to think if
I'm glad I saw it.
If anybody did that. Nelly Cruz is going. Suzuki is throwing. The ball skipping beyond second base, backed up by the shortstop Pennington. Boy, Nelly's doing it all.
Well, you know, in the Ranger outfield, they have two outfielders that are 5-tool players, Hamilton and Nelly Cruz. There's nothing on the field that Nelly Cruz can't do. He's an above-average runner, above-average thrower. He's now becoming at least an average, if not above-average right fielder. That's because he's improved so much. And obviously he can hit, and he can hit for power. That's pretty good in one outfield to have two guys like that. You hear a lot of people throw around the term 5-tool player, but in reality, there's not that many of them.
Well, 15 homers to go with 13 steals. And remember, Nelly missed 37 games due to injury this year. So if you kind of prorate it out, you'd be talking about a potential 30-30 man. Breaking ball to Molina is the strike.
Ian Kinsler's very close to a 5-tool player, not hitting for the power, at least thus far in the season, but that'll return. You talk about a 300 hitter with power, who can throw, who can play defense, and who can run. Rangers have several of them. Ian's speed has been hampered a little bit this year by the injury to his leg.
Molina rolling out to Cahill. The Rangers strand Nelly Cruz. This game scoreless at the end of 2. He's Oakland Athletics. Now, of course, he's the highly regarded manager of these Texas Rangers, proudly wearing that T on top of his head. And he joins us right now. Wash, first of all, I know first place feels real good, but I know you're also very mindful of the fact that the A's and the Angels are not done competing.
Well, that's a fact. You know, as long as there's baseball on the schedule to be played, we have to stay focused on that. And today our focus is on trying to figure out Trevor Cahill and win a ball game today.
Wash, when you first took over the job, you said your favorite type of a game was a low-scoring game, a 3-2 type game. On this homestand, you've already won 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2. They must be playing your brand of baseball.
Well, they're playing the Texas Rangers brand of baseball. You know, the guys out on the field and our pitching staff and bullpen and coaching staff, everyone involved deserve a lot of credit. We've been working awfully hard, and now we're starting to see the benefits of the rewards. But, you know, there's still a lot of baseball to be played.
Matt Watson, the batter, fouls it away. Now, a lot of talk, obviously, Wash, about the addition of Cliff Lee and what he means. Can you articulate it? I mean, in your words, it's not just the fact that he goes out there and gives you 9 innings every fifth day, right?
No, it's not. It's what the the effect he have on all other pitchers also. And begin to understand that what we were preaching earlier about pounding the strike zone, keeping the ball in play, it keeps the defense engaged. He's a prototype of it. And I think everyone else that has followed him has been showing that, because we certainly have been pounding the strike zone with consistency for about now 7 or 8 days.
We're talking about Colby Lewis and the fact that this is his third start in 21 days. That was by design to give him a little bit of rest in the middle of the season. Is that right?
Yes, it was. And, that way we can have him strong as we go down the stretch. Especially with the games that we were playing here in Texas with the Heat, we decided that we was going to try to see if we can make sure that everyone stay on their turn. And if that means you get 6 days, or if that means you get 7 days, you just get that time off. But, Mike and Hawk do a good job of keeping them active in between. So when they go out there on the mound, they don't feel like they're on that island all by themselves.
3-2 the count to Matt Watson. Colby Lewis dealing to the number 7 batter in this Oakland batting order. Gets another foul. And watch one more before we let you go. Right now, it seems like Vlad Guerrero not quite in the groove that he's been in, but Nelson Cruz steps in, and he's doing now what Vlad was doing for much of the year. It seems like when one guy falters a bit, you got a bunch of other guys that can just step in there and pick up the slack.
Well, that's what you call a team, and we are a team, and we pick up each other. And we know Vlad will get going again. There's no doubt about it. But you play a 6-month season, there will be a period of time when things just don't go right. But he's a mentally strong guy, and we do know sooner or later he will come out of it. It's just a matter of what pitcher is going to toe that rubber and give it to him. But that's what a team is for. And it's nice that to see Cruzy pick things up. And, the good thing about it is we got guys up and down the lineup that's getting something done on different nights.
So gratifying to watch. And Wash, we'll let you go and get back to work here. We just wanted to say hello, and I know the fans wanted to say we appreciate everything that's going on right now. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Wash. That is the Ranger manager, Ron Washington, and a 9-pitch at bat brewing here to Matt Watson. Ending right there. Now, Bob Guerin wasn't thrilled with the home plate work last night. Let's see if he and his batter have an issue. They might have an issue there. Nicely framed, though, by Benji Molina.
Yeah, if it's going to be a little bit of a wide strike zone, then that's something the hitters have to adjust to.
Rajay Davis trying to beat it out, and he will. Michael Young unable to barehand. He's hit safely in 16 of the last 17 he's played against the Rangers. He is just one guy that figures out ways to get on base.
Well, it's a very good bunt, and it wasn't anything Michael could do with it. And now Davis, a huge threat to run right here.
Yeah, the A's, that of course stands for the Athletics. And they are, for the first time in a while, they are exactly that. They're an athletic group of guys. Davis has 29 steals. And the A's have been picking their spots well in terms of when they run. They're 82 out of 102. That is the second best percentage in baseball. Oakland having won 9 of 12 and 16 out of 25. Pretty much playing their best ball of the year. Even though they've got some key players injured. Oh, we saw that with the Red Sox not too long ago. Tagged Boston before the Rangers got to them anyway when they took 3 out of 4. The Red Sox have really been on a tear. With almost everybody in their starting lineup banged up or on the DL. Colby Lewis going for his 10th win. He has reached 10 once before. That was his rookie year of 03. But his ERA that year was in the 7s. This year it is half that.
Got a lot of people to thank for some goodies tonight, Josh.
Okay.
We want to thank Pam Creed, who sent a delicious batch of Chex Mix. She said we're getting way too many sweets to eat. Actually, her mom said that, Dodie South. They're from Owasso, Oklahoma. And she's probably right.
She's entirely right.
She's probably right. So thank you very much, Pam, and Dodie South, for being great Ranger fans and for the nice, healthy snack that you set up here. Early word in the booth is it's just about the best Chex Mix anyone's ever had up here. So thank you very much. She also thinks we're the best baseball announcers ever. So
well,
we can only return the favor.
Davis, a little happy feet dance off at first. Looked like he might have been going there, but then he stopped. And that pitch fouled away by Pennington. All right, anybody else loving us or sending us baked goods? Or
Hans and Claire von Lohnen. And I'm not sure the name of their restaurant.
Are they German?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's either the ST Cafe, the Saint Cafe. I'm not sure exactly what it is. On Skillman over in Dallas. A tremendous batch of coconut macaroons. We've never had coconut macaroons.
Your dad's a big macaroon guy.
Yes. I wish he were here because I'd give him a couple of them. But they're Sweet Temptations Bakery over in Dallas. Sent those over. Thank you very much.
First macaroons of the year. Another big lead for Davis. Boy, and Colby Lewis really slowing things down. As Davis jets towards second, there's a tag right on his behind, and down he goes.
What a throw. I didn't think there was any chance for Benji because Davis can run. Davis had a good jump, but you can't outrun the ball when the catcher gets rid of it this quickly. It's not a great pitch to throw on because he had to reach down. He gets it there quickly, and a nice tag by Elvis, and they erase the base runner. Beautiful play by Benji, making some great throws. And two of them the other night, one on a stolen base, one on a tapper out in front of the out in front of the plate.
Elvis having just made that tag, and now is going to make a throw to get Cliff Pennington. Colby Lewis off the mound and out of the inning. A little bit of help from his battery mate, Mr. Molina. Insurance, also by AT&T. Go to att.com and buy Whataburger just like you like it. Well, another crowd in the 30,000 range, it would appear tonight. The Rangers drawing well and playing well. Some would suggest those things are linked. Chris Davis will sky to Coco Crisp out number one. Andres Blanco will bat for the first time tonight. And folks, the Rangers have that big series coming up against the Yankees August 10th and 11th. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. You can enjoy all-you-can-eat seating. Get an upper home run porch ticket plus all-you-can-eat at some ballpark favorites for only $39 for the games against the Yankees. That's sponsored by our good friends at The Ticket. And we do invite you to go to TexasRangers.com. Get your tickets now for the Yankee series. That shapes up to be well attended.
And one more group to thank. Oatmeal raisin chocolate chip cookies from Verna, Eva, Amy, and Bridget. No last name. But
thank you, ladies.
Ladies, thank you very much. What a night. This was a grand slam tonight.
Blanco taking down an in.
And also Paul and Linda Castillo are here tonight celebrating their 49th wedding anniversary. What a way to celebrate. Hopefully it'll be with a Ranger win.
Yep, glad to have him here.
Happy anniversary, Paul and Linda Castillo.
Blanco's first start as a dad. His son Fabian is 11 days old now. Night off for Ian Kinsler. And you know, a lot of talk today, Tom, about Kinsler swinging on that 3-0 count last night with Vladdy on deck. You didn't mind that, though.
I'm 100% for it. I think Ian's a 300 hitter. You look for a fastball. You've got the luxury of looking for it where you want to hit it. And any hitter, especially a good hitter like Ian, becomes an even better hitter when you can look for a fastball. He got a fastball. He just didn't hit it. He took a good swing at it. He just popped it up. But I'm all for it. I think Ian is a better hitter looking for a fastball 3-0 than Vladdy would have been starting from scratch against the same pitcher. There's 2 outs. And I think any hitter looking for his fastball on a 3-0 pitch, let it rip with a game on the line like that. I'm all for it.
And
all the walk does is bring up another hitter. You already got a good hitter at the plate in a great hitter's count.
The ball almost found its way into the stands. Derek Barton went over there, and as you pointed out, it's not like there were a bunch of burly guys in the first row that could have wrestled him for it.
No, that would have been nice. He would have had another chance. Probably would have won the game. But no, in fact, I was thinking to myself, I hope Wash lets him swing right here. Why not? You know, I think the only time that you wouldn't do that is if you've got a 230 hitter up there and a 300 hitter coming up. But Ian's hitting 300, Vladdy's hitting 300. You know, if Vladdy were up 3-0 and Ian was up next, I'd want Vladdy to be swinging 3-0 too.
The Rangers have taken 15 swings now this year on 3-0. And they're 3 for 5 when they put the ball in play. There have been a bunch of swings and misses and a couple of foul balls. That foul ball happened to be caught.
Yeah, that to me, that was just bad fortune right there. Now, it doesn't mean you always swing 3-0. If there's nobody on base, you don't swing 3-0. Then you want to get on and maybe steal a base. But with a man on third and the winning run 3-0, there's no reason not to knock him in.
Andrews is out. The Rangers are done. We go to the 4th. No score. about Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Nice crowd on a nice night, and certainly scoring has been at a premium in this series so far. The Rangers and the A's went 1-1 into the 10th last night. Cliff Lee, the no-walk 13 strikeout game. He's now to 7 walks, one of those intentional, versus 114 punch-outs for the year. And just to put that in perspective, we've been singing the praises of Trevor Cahill tonight, the Oakland starter. And last year, Cahill was 90 strikeouts and 72 walks, and was a celebrated breath of fresh air for the Oakland A's. You know, pretty close to a 1-to-1 ratio. Cliffy's about 16-to-1 now.
Yeah, and again, it's a tough comparison because Cahill was 20 years old last year, and look at the improvement he's made this year. Now it's 108 innings and only 34 strikeouts. He's almost double, 66 strikeouts, 34 walks. So that's one reason why he's been even better this year than he was last year. 10th best ERA, second best opponent's batting average, and his home runs are down. He's cut down on his home runs too.
Top of the order here, Coco Crisp. Covelli Crisp is his real name. He's been going by Coco for a while.
Coco's upset with himself. He squared around the bunt and then took a fastball right down the middle. He's either mad that he squared around, felt he should have been swinging, or mad he didn't pull the trigger and bunt the strike.
Into left field. And he, just like Rajay Davis, a threat to run.
Well, Benji was definitely up to the task when Davis tried to run. But the A's have been running a lot lately. It's part of their game plan, trying to manufacture runs. They're not going to score a lot of runs with their offense, generally speaking, and they've got good starting pitching. So I think they feel if we can manufacture a few runs, get some good starting pitching, that's a pretty good formula for success.
Now the A's have only hit 66 home runs all year. That is 13th in the league. They're on pace to have their fewest home runs in a season since the early 70s. And with the exception of this guy, Derek Barton is the one guy really who does walk. And they've only collected 300 walks all year, Tom. That too is right at the bottom of the league. And again, trending towards their fewest in a season since the 70s. So even though we all enjoyed that Moneyball book, and it's soon to be a movie, that whole walks and homers thing, that's just not happening for the A's right now.
Well, you love an offense that has a high on-base percentage. There's no doubt about that. But you still, it's a nice philosophy to have. I don't know anyone that's against on-base percentage. It's just a matter of, do you have the personnel? I've yet to hear a baseball person say, you know, on-base percentage is overrated. Right. Give me those guys that don't get on base very often.
Give me a guy who never walks and hits .212.
Yep, and throwing a few strikeouts just for good measure.
But there are more ways than one to skin a cat, is what it comes down to. You can win without high OBP guys, but you'd love to have them. Infield, the double play depth. Barton's 59 walks, just one away from being tied for the league lead. Mark Teixeira has 60. And those New York Yankees right now at 63 and 36. That's about 4 games better than the Rangers. As you start to look at wild card possibilities, it's not really even close. Tampa Bay kind of beaten up on the field there if they can't catch New York. Of course, the Red Sox will probably be heard from. And nobody's getting cocky around here, even though the Rangers are up 8.5 right now. As we keep talking about, more than 60 games still to go.
Yeah, it's a great situation to be in, but A lot of tough games ahead, and a tough part of the schedule. A lot of games within your division.
Fortunately, the Rangers are 18-8 against the West, with a ton more games against the West. But Tom, if indeed you got two teams from the AL East that'll be in the playoffs, one is the wild card, one is that AL East champion. Well, the Rangers only 9-16 right now against the East. Another throw from Benji, and the tag this time not in time.
That was another great throw and a quick release. That time Crisp stole that base on Kobe. Not much Benji could do.
Coco Crisp is the son of a guy who owns a hamburger joint called the Quick and Split. And that's pretty much what he's all about. He's quick and able to very deftly find a way down there to second base. Sometimes third, too. You got to always be mindful of a guy like Coco Crisp stealing third on you. Now the walk to Barton. And a rare opportunity for the A's in this series to have a couple men on base at the same time. That happened only once yesterday. It was in the third inning. And you ponder here, Suzuki is a number 3 hitter. Number 3 hitters don't often bunt. But Suzuki, previously in his career, has been a guy that's hit down in the order, has always bunted well. He's even hit leadoff as a catcher. We'll take a strike right here. And Suzuki, the other thing, too, that leads you to believe he'll be swinging, not bunting. He's really hit well of late. Hitting about 400 the last week and a half. But he's down 0-2. Which doesn't mean he's completely done here. He's got 3 of his 11 home runs this year, believe it or not, Tag, with the count being 0-2. You're not supposed to be able to hit a home run down 0-2. Suzuki's done it 3 times.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get a pitch that you can do it with. Just every now and then, pitchers make a mistake.
That was not a mistake. That was brilliant. Striking out Suzuki. Four of those for Colby Lewis already.
All strikes. And he just threw that one by him.
And it brings up the all-or-nothing guy, Jack Cust. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks, a lot of homers. It's not often he does really anything else. Cust last year, Tag, struck out 25 times against the Rangers. No one else struck out against the Rangers even 16 times last year. The Rangers got him 25 times, and so far in this series, he's been up 4 times and been called out on strikes 4 times.
Well, he's never going to be a guy that doesn't strike out. He's always going to strike out. But he walks a lot. He's got power. And this year he's hitting close to 300s.
Yeah.
Hitting in the 290s. Before, he would be down much lower than that, but with the walks would have an on-base percentage that was really solid, combined with the power. And now you talk about a guy hitting 290 with a lot of walks and on-base percentage over 40% with power. That's a very positive offensive guy in the middle of your lineup.
There's one of those big rips. And yeah, I mean, if he can keep this up, that's pretty much a Jim Thome season that he used to have in Cleveland. Hit for average, draw a lot of walks, and strike out a ton.
That usually is a spot where you can get Cust. If you can keep the ball belt high or a little bit above and inside, that can be a tough pitch for him. But he's
classic guy that you say don't make a mistake to him because he'll make you pay for it. Tried to get in there again.
Jose Canseco, obviously a classic guy like that. Mike Flanagan used to call him Jose, don't make a mistake-o. Because if you put it where he likes it, that's that 450-foot home run. Five times up, 5 times struck out in this series for Jack Cust. 2 down, top of the 4th.
First 2 men on, next 2 struck out. Right in the middle of the lineup. The 3rd hitter, the 4th hitter, and now another tough hitter, Kevin Kuzminoff. You can't let up here, but nothing fancy there. That was just a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Just threw it by Cust.
Now there's only one pitcher in the American League right now, Tom, with a lower batting average against with men on base. And that's owned by Tommy Hunter. 2 competitive right-hand pitchers in that starting rotation for the Rangers.
Kobe came into the game 11th in the league in strikeouts, and he's got a couple of starts less, fewer starts than the guys ahead of him. He's almost a strikeout per inning this year, which is pretty solid.
Inside corner, 1-1. Kuzminoff popped out on a 2-0 pitch in the 2nd. Been a hot hitter of late. Hit safely in all 9 games he's played in since the All-Star break, but he's behind here. 2 on, 2 out, no score. Got a piece.
Well, that was a pretty good. That's a strikeout pitch right there that he did a nice job just to get a piece of it. Seen fastballs, and Kobe threw him a slider out of the strike zone. Kuzminoff just barely got a piece of it. If you're going to swing at it, that's usually a pitch you might swing and miss at.
Ground third base, Michael Young going the short way, ending the inning. It was 2 on and nobody out. And Colby Lewis buckled down. between Colby Lewis and Trevor Cahill. They will possibly enjoy this trivia question, too, brought to you by AT&T. Neftali Feliz, 19 straight save opportunities. Who's got the big league record for consecutive saves by a rookie? Remember, Feliz does still qualify as a rookie this year. Already has more saves than last year's Rookie of the Year winner, Oakland's Andrew Bailey. Bailey won that award last year with 26. Feliz has got a shot to get 40 this year. The strike to Julio Borbon will be followed by Young and Guerrero here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 0-0 tonight. On the ground, there's some range for Mark Ellis. He's made only one error in 56 games this year. Very solid player.
The Rangers have only hit one ball in the air. That was Chris Davis, who fly it out to center. Other than that, there's one strikeout, and everything else has been a fairly weakly hit ground ball.
Now it tells you that Trevor Cahill is on his game. Career against the Rangers, 4-1 with an ERA of 2.2. And he's a guy that pushed the Rangers straight downhill last year. The playoff chances kind of hanging in the balance. It was Cahill that came here last September at 7 innings of one hit ball at the age of 21. Cahill was a second-round pick in '06 out of Oceanside, California, down near San Diego. That sinker, the changeup, pretty good curveball. And a .203 opponent's batting average now. That is second lowest in the AL. Actually began the year on the DL. His left scapula giving him an issue. Young crushing one to left center. But going back near the track and wrestling with it is Watson. He's got it. 2 down in the inning. The AL West standings board brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Angels lost today, and of all things, it was a Marco Scutaro grand slam that broke that game open. The former Oakland A, and a guy that usually terrorizes the Rangers. This time he does it to the Angels, and Boston wins. The Rangers are 11 up in the loss column on the Halos right now. 11. I think the Angels could have used that guy just a little bit. 77 runs batted in for Vlad Guerrero. As we talked about with Ron Washington last inning, bit of a struggle lately for Vlad. Wash confident he'll pull out of it, but right now 5 for his last 36. Vladdy walking in the second inning and now has a chance to do it again in the fourth. And he does. 2-out walk to bring up Hamilton.
Cahill's pitched against the Rangers twice earlier this season in back-to-back starts, and both of those starts were against Colby Lewis. This is the third time they've faced each other.
Both guys went 5 1/3 when they matched up against each other in May here. Actually 5 2/3. And we didn't have this kind of crowd back then. The Rangers basically a 500 team in May. Now they are 59 and 41. All the other races right now, Tom, if you look around baseball, they're tight. Even the Braves, who were up 7.5 are now up only 3.5 on Philly. Hamilton into center field. Base hit for Josh Vladdy. On his way to third, no problem. Runners at the corners for Nelly Cruz.
Two quick outs and one out of nowhere. A walk and a single. Michael really hit his ball well in left field. Just didn't get it up in the air enough. Watson was able to play deep and run down the hard hit line drive.
36 of the last 37 games now. Josh has a base hit at home. Big swing for Nelly. The only game during that stretch, Tom, where Josh hasn't gotten a hit. We're talking 36 games in a row at home otherwise. That was a game where Cliff Lee made his Ranger debut, and Chris Tillman of the Orioles stole the show. Took that no-hitter into the 7th. Nobody was hitting Chris Tillman that night.
No.
That's the only game. Josh only had 3 at-bats in that game. But had he found a way, we'd be talking about a 36 now, possibly 37-game home hitting streak. Kind of par for the course that night, too. The Rangers didn't score on behalf of Cliff Lee. That really has been an issue all 4 of his starts. Taken on a wide outside corner, and that is assigned as strike 3. Nelson disagreed. Sounds like some of the fans disagreed as well. Zeros on to the 5th. Hill scoreless into the 5th inning. And back to our AT&T trivia question. With Neftali Feliz having converted 19 straight save opportunities, the record is 21 in a row, and Andrew Bailey did it last year for Oakland on his way to Rookie of the Year. The Rangers' record is 21 in a row. Coco Cordero did that. Not as a rookie, but he did it. Hopefully the Rangers will get to use Feliz tonight, trying to secure what looks to be a low-scoring possible win, if indeed we're headed that way. Obviously, no runs, 2 hits both ways in the 5th inning. Steve Busby joins us in the booth, and I guess, Buzz, it's not a big surprise. You look at the stats only, and Colby Lewis and Trevor Cahill with ERAs in the low 3s. Sure. This is kind of what you figured. Yeah, you're right. And you guys were talking about the with Wash about the days off that Colby's had, and it looks like this situation they put Colby in tonight is paying dividends, because he looks a lot stronger, he looks a lot sharper, I think, than he did his last couple of times out when there was some rest applied, but it didn't quite have the effect I think that everybody wanted. Obviously, with Trevor Cahill going up against Colby Lewis tonight, Colby's got to be at his level best, because Trevor Cahill's pretty good.
Very good, as a matter of fact. It's hard to believe, in watching Cahill pitch, Josh, it's hard to believe he just turned 22 years old. I mean, he's got a great command of the philosophy of pitching that best suits him. His sinker will vary anywhere from 86, 87 miles an hour up to 92. And he doesn't back off that. He just goes sinker, and then every once in a while a good breaking ball. But he's really got a good command of pitching for a guy with his youth.
Colby Lewis has had to work a little harder tonight than, for example, Cliff Lee did last night to kind of soldier through it. 63 pitches through 4 innings. But Cliff just sets the bar pretty high, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He really does. And like we were talking last night, every time he takes them out, it's a clinic for everybody. And I know Colby is trying to pick up some things from Cliff Lee to apply to himself. And not everybody, or not all the things that Cliff Lee does can apply to other folks. I mean, he just has some talents that most guys don't have. But, I think Colby, probably from a tempo standpoint, probably trying to pick it up a little bit and be a little more decisive, a little more quickly between pitches.
I think, and you've hit on something here, Buzz. I mean, you watch Cliff Lee go at it, and you hope this is the kind of thing that is contagious. He just has the look of a man who is completely 100% in control of the situation out there. Like, I got this.
Yeah, he's committed to how he pitches, and he's committed to every pitch. I don't think you ever see him throw a pitch that's not with 100% commitment on his part, and I think that's critical.
Buzz, a lot of people have said, how could Cliff Lee go out there for 9 innings when it's that hot and throw 117 pitches? And he obviously is in great shape, just like a lot of big league pitchers are in great shape. But is there something in his mechanics that would lead you to believe that he's more efficient than other pitchers?
Well, Tom, I think that being kind of a lanky build guy, good play by Elvis, long arms, long legs. I think once you get your mechanics down, you throw more effortlessly. And I think Naftali's a good example of that. Long arms and you use leverage very effectively, so the ball seems to pop out of your hand faster without the apparent effort of somebody that's shorter and stockier. But you have to say Cliff Lee is probably in as good a shape as anybody in the major leagues to go out there and do what he does.
So between Cliff Lee and C.J. Wilson, I mean, those are two extraordinarily conditioned athletes, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Davis pops one towards the crowd. This has been a tough guy for the Rangers to get out. Speed is always something that I guess is just not easy to defend. If you're a pitcher, there's only so much you can do to keep Davis off base. He can bunt on you.
Sure.
As he did earlier tonight.
But Josh, with your experience, I think you have to agree that speed is the one thing in all of sports that's difficult to defend. If you have it, boy, it's great. And you can utilize it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You don't have it, there's not much you can do about it.
Davis rams one into center, and last time he got on, we saw Lewis just really slow everything down, get super deliberate, and you're right. I mean, I don't know how speed can't get in your head, so to speak.
Well, it does, and you have to make sure. Fortunately, with Davis sitting down toward the bottom of the order, it's not quite as critical than if he were hitting leadoff and you have the big hitters coming up, the big Oakland hitters coming up after him. But right now you don't want to allow him to get a walking lead. You don't want to allow him an easy steal of second. But at the same time, I think you want to go after Pennington with your best stuff and not disregard the runner, but pay more attention to making good pitches and getting Pennington out. I think pitchers, I think we all get into this rut sometimes. We pay too much attention to a guy at first and not enough attention to the hitter. And we kind of get caught in between where our concentration is divided between the runner and the hitter. And that's difficult to pitch that way.
In a way, though, and this is not a knock on Cliff Pennington, but you mentioned that Davis is hitting 8th in the order. All right, Davis is over there at first. Can you afford to worry about him just a little more because you got the number 9 guy up as opposed to, say, if Davis was leading off, and now you've got Barton, Suzuki, and
yes.
Tust?
Yeah. I don't pay as much attention to Davis right here. I try to bear down and get the number 9 hitter out with 2 outs. I mean, you can do that, you have to feel that if you make good pitches to Pennington, you're going to get him out much more often than not.
Guy is 2 for his last 27. Colby Lewis has the kind of stuff he's got.
Yep.
Not to say that Davis should be treated as a phantom. Don't pretend that he can't hurt you, but I know what you're saying. You've got the ball in your hand. You can get the guy at the plate out.
Yeah, I think in this situation, all you want to do if you're Colby Lewis is make sure that Davis doesn't get a walking lead, is stopped dead before you deliver to the plate. But, I'm going to focus on getting Pennington out.
Davis goes. Benji Molina throws. Can he get him again? No. It skips away from Elvis on into center field. And Davis ends up at third. That had some dangerous ends to it yesterday. That's how the A's scored their 1 run. It was on a throw that ended up in center field. And Kurt Suzuki ended up with the RBI single that followed.
Yeah, last night, if someone was covering second base, Benji would have thrown him out. That base is stolen, and the throw is high. He's going to be in scoring position anyway. Last night, he would have been out if someone was covering second base. Turns out it was Ian that was supposed to be covering.
And they ended up changing that error, taking it away from Benji, giving it to Ian. Even though he never did anything physically. Now the walk to the number 9 man, and Coco Crisp, who has hit the ball hard a couple times, coming up.
Yeah, that's the danger you run, I think, when you pay too much attention to a base stealer in that situation. I think you're much better off just doing what you can as far as changing your rhythm and timing with the guy on first, but really going after the number 9 hitter and trying to level best to get him out.
Well, you've got 2 guys who can run. Benji's going out and letting everybody know what kind of a play is on. Will we throw through? Red Sox through.
Yeah,
that's right.
Through in that ball game, and the Rangers pulled off the double steal. See if Pennington runs, if the Rangers will throw through.
Hang on to it, fake a throw back to third.
Line shot. Davis has got it. Moot point, inning over. Buzz, thank you for the pitching clinic. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you.
See you on Rangers Live after the ball game.
Buzz.
Okay, Tom.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Of the 5th, and folks, Lexus vehicles can be valet parked free of charge at any Rangers home game. The Red Sox are coming in August 13th through 15th, for example. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972 Rangers and get your tickets for that. Of course, the Yankees come in before that. Right now, it's the Oakland A's in town after the Angels have moved along, and the Angels have gone home to be losing to Boston. That's happened twice to him. Former Angel Benji Molina up there. The Rangers have a couple of singles tonight, and that's it. The A's have 3 singles tonight, and that's it. Curling towards right. Rajai Davis has 2 of those aforementioned hits for the Oakland A's. They don't have an extra base hit, Tom, in 26 innings now. That is not the swinging A's that we've come to know and love or loathe over the years.
Well, they're not the swinging A's anymore. They're a different kind of team. They're right now a team that has some hitters in the middle of the lineup, but basically they're a team that manufactures runs. They're running the bases really well. And the strength of their team is their starting pitching and their bullpen. They're pitching, period. They're not the Bash brothers anymore.
No. Not everybody on those Bash brother teams was hitting 30 homers. I mean, Walt Weiss was a Bash brother, at least member of that team, but they've gotten a lot less beefy and a lot more athletic in the last few years, no doubt about it. Chris Davis could have been a Bash brother. Big, strong, strapping first baseman. Longview native. One thing Chris has started to do, I think, a lot better lately, Tom, is work that count a little bit. He averaged 6 pitches per at bat last night. Doing a lot of that, just kind of fouling off the junk mail. Inside. Called out on strikes, and it's been a wide outside corner all night from C.B. Buckner.
I think there's been hitters on both teams complaining about the strike zone tonight. And you'd have to say the strike zone is a little wider than it is on some nights, but I guess the other thing you'd say is if both teams are complaining, then at least there's consistency. That won't satisfy any of the hitters, but it won't disappoint the pitchers. Chris had battled to a 3-2 count. Thought he'd worked a walk.
Blanco shoots one out of play. Well, the trade deadline 3 days away. We'll see if the Rangers are still active going forward. Of course, they landed the big fish in Cliff Lee.
I think there's enough teams that are out of it that have some veteran players. And you'd have to think they're trying to get something for them in the way of young players. Teams like Arizona, Pittsburgh, Houston, maybe even the Cubs, Milwaukee, Washington.
Looks like the Royals are going to deal Scott Podsednik tonight to the L.A. Dodgers. On one hop, big hop, Pennington recovers. What a play!
Nice play.
He just wouldn't let the ball get past him. And the Rangers are turned away here. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. On to the 6th, and still no score. Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Texas baseball. And by the Texas Department of Transportation. If you want to win a fuel-saving hybrid, it's easy to enter at drivecleanacrosstexas.org. Just a beautiful, beautiful night tonight. And a crowd somewhere probably around 35,000 here to watch the Rangers and the A's. Ranger fans, I think, as a collective now, Tom, have to be thinking, can our guys really pull away? All the other divisions right now, everybody's kind of jammed up, whether it's the Yankees in Tampa Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit in the Central. NL Central's been St. Louis and Cincinnati within a game of each other, it seems like, all year. The NL West is still fairly tight. But here are the Rangers, 11 up in the loss column on the Angels now. And trying to step further away from these Oakland A's with a win tonight, too.
Well, the way the schedule is set up right now, you're in a position to do that if you go on a winning streak, because that's all you're doing is playing within the division for quite a while. Home and road against the A's and Oakland.
It's not quite this, but it's pretty close right now, Tag, that the Rangers are 20 games over 500-ish, and the next best competitors are 500 ball clubs.
Yep, that's the way it is right now.
Colby Lewis strikes out Derek Barton, and again, you got to really do something to be mentioned in the same breath now with Cliff Lee. We all get that, but right now, here's Colby Lewis. He's got 6 strikeouts tonight and just 1 walk.
A good hard slider down and in. And Colby's been in this kind of a game before. You mentioned Cliff Lee. He faced Cliff Lee in Seattle in Cliff Lee's first game back.
That's right.
And ended up going 9 shutout innings. Game went into extra innings. Lee went 7 innings in his first start back.
Yeah, that was probably Colby's best game other than that 2-hitter in Houston. Gave up just a handful of singles and posted 9 in that game. We ran out this stat about Cliff Lee towards the end yesterday, Tom, and I think it bears repeating. The last 8 games for him, if you figure 9's the best you're going to do, 8 times 9, that's 72 possible innings you can pitch. Cliff Lee has pitched 70 2/3. He's an inning and a third away from 8 9s in a row.
And the reason he's able to do that is pretty obvious. He throws 13 pitches per inning. And so when he's at 105, 108 pitches, he's through the 8th inning. And a lot of guys are somewhere around the 6th inning. So that allows him to put the innings up. In fact, he doesn't throw that many pitches. Good fastball for Colby tonight. A lot of swings and misses. Colby is all season long among the leaders in swings and misses. Percentage of pitches swung and missed at. And you're seeing that tonight. A lot of swings and misses tonight by the A's.
Suzuki makes some contact. Boy, just another pretty shot from a beautiful ballpark. And I've said this so many times, Tom, I don't think there's another ballpark that when it's filled up looks better than this one.
Yeah, that shot looking back at home plate is just beautiful. And it's nice to see this many fans at the stadium, too, appreciating the kind of baseball these kids are playing.
Suzuki hammers away, drives it deep to left to put a damper on all the beauty.
Well, Colby's kicking himself for that. He'd been throwing fastballs by him all night long, and he hung a slider right down the middle of the plate. Suzuki hit it out of the ballpark.
Suzuki's having a heck of a year. It's a dozen home runs for him now. He just signed a 4-year contract extension just the other day. And as we said earlier, he's on a tear right now. He's about a 400 hitter since the All-Star break.
You got a slider right down the middle of the plate. Now, that's the kind where you probably do second guess yourself, because Colby's had a good fastball and Suzuki's had a hard time catching up with it. Now, if he makes a better pitch with a slider, it's obviously probably not going to be a home run, but that was a mistake that he didn't get away with. Haven't been many of them tonight.
Not to suggest that Suzuki's the kind of catcher that's going to go the Joe Mauer route and suddenly break out with a 25 home run season, but he's got a dozen now this year. He's the only Oakland A in double digits. And he was given the A's a 1-0 lead here in the 6th as Cust was almost hit by that one. It was the first Oakland extra base hit in 26 innings time. And as you said, Tex, simply a pitch that Colby would like to be able to call back. Cust going to drop one into right field. So a homer and a single following the strikeout. Mike Maddox will go to the mound. Kevin Kuzminoff coming up. He's got the next most homers behind Suzuki. He's got 9. Pitch count close to 100 for Colby. Bullpen catcher Josh Frazier knows he's going to be asked to go to work now. Taylor Teagarden will put on the catcher's gear as well. Kuzminoff has hit into 14 double plays. That's one of the top totals in the American League. And if you can spot something right here, you might be able to work your way out of this. The Rangers with only 1 run scored in regulation time in these 2 games. Had the 2-run walk-off homer in the 10th from Nelson Cruz last night. Being shut out tonight 1-0. Off speed to start off Kuzminoff. Kuzminoff came close to hitting one out last night. Nelly Cruz went back to the track, took one away. "100th pitch of the night about to come in from Colby. Keeps going for that inside corner. And if we've learned anything about C.B. Buckner's strike zone tonight, Tom, it's that outside corner sometimes will have a little give to it. Haven't seen that so much on the inside. Into the crowd, 2-2. Remember the stat we rolled out earlier about Colby with men on base. Second toughest in the league to get a hit against once the going gets tough. No contact. Kuzminoff is out number 2 in the inning, the 7th strikeout for Colby.
Looked like another slider, maybe a cutter. Down and away, got Kuzminoff to chase a pitch out of the strike zone.
Now he's got to go get Mark Ellis, who has not hit the ball out of the infield yet. He will hit it just past the infield this time. Blanco makes the call. Blanco makes the catch, and Lewis is off the mound, but the A's have dented the scoreboard. The solo home run from Suzuki has made it 1-0. Robert Smithy of Grand Prairie. If a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Well, it's the top of the order for the Rangers in the bottom of the sixth. They got to find a way to get to Trevor Cahill, who last year on this mound fashioned a one-hitter through 7. Tonight it's a 2-hitter through 5. He doesn't even look 22, does he? He's about to face a guy who is not even 22. Elvis Andrus will turn 22 next month. And trying to get something going here, he takes strike 1.
Well, really, the only ball the Rangers that really cracked hard was the line drive Michael Young hit to deep left center field. Josh's was a soft single to center, and Nelly's was a soft ground ball into right. So Cahill really has been in command tonight.
And that's not unusual. 204 opponent's batting average coming in tonight. Now that's down to 203. Into right. Out number 1. They're the only A's with more wins before their 23rd birthday, besides Trevor Cahill. Mark Mulder and Vita Blue. So indeed, in some rare company. Second time this year Bourbon has hit second. He did that in Milwaukee, the game that started the Rangers' 11-game win streak. Very creative for Julio Bourbon. Shows the bunt and knocks it foul. Trying to get on and then ponder the steal. We have not seen a steal of second for Julio in 40 games, incredibly. He has a steal of home, but he hasn't stolen second base in 40 games. I think everybody in spring training, Tom, was talking about the possibility of a 40 or 50 stolen base season for Bourbon. Julio was talking about that. Right now that total is 9 steals for Bourbon. Elvis hasn't been running a lot lately either. He's been right at 24 steals for a while. That still leads the team. On the ground again, that sinker. The equalizer all night for Cahill. We go to Emily Jones here in the 6th inning.
Hey there, guys. Plenty of great stuff up on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, including the very latest from Dallas Cowboys training camp. Mercifully, shoulder pad gate is over. They're actually talking football down in San Antonio. Also, the very latest from Big 12 Media Days as we wrap things up. The three-day extravaganza is over, which means I will be getting a little more sleep.
Yay! All right. Thanks, Em. I'll talk to you after the game. Rangers live to follow. Here's Michael Young, who had the one hit against Cahill last year, the one hit in 7-inning performance we were just referencing. Took a while for the Rangers to get to Cahill this year when they faced him. We mentioned that he lasted 5 2/3. That's exactly where he is right now, 5 2/3. But in that game, he set down the first 12 Rangers that he faced, all in order.
And he's got about 20 fewer pitches today than he did back then, too. He's got a pretty good pitch count for pitching deeper into this game.
As ladles that one towards the outside.
Not much to hit tonight. Michael had one good pitch to hit and really hit it well to left center field. It was caught. A lot of movement on his sinker. Good off-speed pitches. Almost brought that back to the outside corner. And pretty good command. He's walked 2. He's walked Guerrero twice. That's it.
All the starters in this series so far have been 9-game winners. They've been either 9-4, 9-5, or 9-6. And C.J. Wilson goes for the Rangers tomorrow. He's a 9-win guy. It's a 7:05 first pitch tomorrow night. And the Rangers hit the road after that. Boy, Trevor Cahill very simply has got it going on. Rangers up against it tonight. They are trailing 1-0. 7th inning coming up. Ford is the best in Texas and by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Ranger fans just kind of chilling right now. There hadn't been a lot of offense to discuss tonight. One big swing from Kurt Suzuki in the top of the 6th. The home run to give the A's a 1-0 lead. And Colby Lewis, last 4 games before this one, Tag, here were his pitch counts. 102, 103, 102, 104. And right now he's at 103 tonight. But he's going to be asked to keep on driving the bus.
Well, again, we've mentioned it before. He's had plenty of rest. And he's been well over 103 pitches many times this year. So no problem tonight with the rest that he's had. Darren Oliver has been throwing and is loose down in the bullpen.
Bottom third of the order, Matt Watson. He's not Amish, but he sports the beard that leads you to believe he might be. He's also from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is, I don't know if you've ever been through there, Tom, the Amish capital of North America.
I don't think I ever have.
No horse and buggies?
Never done that. I feel like I've been there before, though, watching Kingpin.
I was going to ask if you ever saw Witness, but yeah, Kingpin's good, too. Charged at second by Blanco. Watson and his beard are both out. Now, time for our Haynes Comfort Zone. And probably the most comfortable, casual-looking dude in the ballpark is right there. That's Darren Oliver.
And his competition would probably come from Neftali Felice.
Never let them see you sweat, right?
You got a 22-year-old and a 40-year-old that just don't ever look nervous.
No. Well, should bode well if indeed there's a pennant race or October baseball or both. That will set a very positive tone, you figure. Benji Molina should be able to provide that, too. You love having guys that have been there, done that when it comes to playing not only in October, but deep into October. Molina was there to steer the ship for the Angels when they won it all in 2002. Davis is down on strikes. He's been a tough guy to keep off base in this series, but Colby got him. That's 8 strikeouts for Lewis tonight.
No, excellent location with a cutter. Down and away. That's where he was trying to throw the pitch that Suzuki hit. And you'd like to think every now and then you get away with one. That was just one Colby didn't get away with. One swing of the bat. It's the only score of the game.
Pennington, the native Texan, fouls one back. 74 games since his last home run. Part of why he is hitting 9th. But if he's named Cliff, he must be good, right? We've been talking about Cliff Lee on and on for a month. Pennington now lives in Houston. He's been a nice find for them. Guy's been pretty much their everyday shortstop. Originally a Corpus guy, Cliff Pennington. A first-round pick back in 2005, having played at A&M. In the air right field and pursued by Nelson Cruz. On the run, makes the catch. Got 115 pitches for Colby Lewis. We'll see if he's asked to take it any further than that, but the Rangers are here at the 7th inning stretch, trailing 1-0. Trying to get to 10-4, trying to keep the A's in the fringe of this division race. He's got to go right through the thicket of Vlad Guerrero, Josh Hamilton, Nelson Cruz here in the bottom of the 7th. The Rangers have but 2 singles tonight. Also 2 walks from Vladdy. He has not yet had a 3-walk game as a Ranger. We'll see if Cahill continues to be real careful with him.
A lot of quality strikes for Cahill tonight. Not an exceptional percentage of strikes, but the ones he's made have been tough to hit.
So many ground ball outs tonight. Josh Hamilton comes up next. He hit a ball on the ground in the 2nd inning. Our Coors Light freeze cam. A very rare Josh Hamilton double play. Just kind of took that one right out of the dirt. Josh had gone into July without hitting into a double play at all. Then he, in the first inning in the All-Star game, hit into one against Ubaldo Jimenez. And it's time for Josh to go a yard. Yes, I'm putting in the call. Time for home run number 24 for Hambone. I'll wake this crowd up. 38,000 plus tonight. Tag a walk-up of close to 10,000 tonight.
That's great.
On a Wednesday night. He's putting in the call, too. Nice to have company. Of course, you're not really going out on a limb, right, when you're dialing it up for Josh. In pursuit of a Triple Crown season here. Continues to lead the majors in batting average. Gonna have a tough time catching that Jose Bautista now for home runs. He had a couple yesterday. Inside, got that hitter's count. I didn't figure the first guy to 30 this year for home runs would be Jose Bautista, did you?
No, I don't think many people did. But that's baseball.
That is ball 4. Nelson Cruz to the plate. Nelly hit a 2-run homer with Hamilton aboard yesterday to win it. It's pretty weird, Tom. Cruz now has hit all 3 Ranger extra inning home runs this year. They've all been with 1 out and all with Josh Hamilton on base. Hadn't been an AL player in 7 years to have 3 extra inning homers in 1 season. Big Papi the last to do it. David Ortiz did it in 03. Nelly's done it twice on the road this year. And then, of course, last night, gloriously right here at home. Close over there. Josh diving back. Seems like everybody with the A's has a pretty good pickoff move. Taken for a strike. On 0-2, Nelly gives it a ride. Right center.
Well, he just missed it. He got a hanger, too.
Hamilton tagging. And that could be big. He's easily into second base, and now a base hit can get the Rangers tied up.
Yeah, Chris in center field right now doesn't throw very well, so you can definitely run on that. And Nelly got a little bit of a hanger. It was just far enough away from him where he hit it a little bit toward the end of the bat. Still drove it about 400 feet to right center field. Josh knows it's going to be caught and sneaks into second base with, but hopefully it'll be the tying run.
David Murphy is going to be announced as a pinch hitter now for Bengie Molina. Bengie 0 for his last 12. And not that David Murphy is on much better of a streak than that of late, but he's a lefty. And the last time he faced Trevor Cahill, it actually went very well. This was back here in May. He tried to get one in on Murphy, and there it went. That was Murphy's first home run of the year. That one too far in. Cahill's allowed only 11 home runs this year. Last year he gave up 27. But again, a little ground ball single here. A little bloop single. That would certainly get the job done. Tie the ball game. on the outside edge. Tough pitch. No fastballs yet for Murphy.
Well, there has been a wide strike zone and continues to be.
Yep.
That's just about probably the same distance outside as the one before. In fact, you can't even see number 2.
Right, number 3's right on top of number 2. Well, you can make a case it should be 3-0. Cahill, I'm sorry, Tig.
I was just going to say, pretty good changeup from Cahill right there. It was a pretty good spot to hit. But the change of speed had David a little bit out in front of him. You have to think if you're Cahill that you're going to try to throw the ball 3 inches outside and hope you get the call. Laid off that changeup.
And again, a lot of off-speed stuff. A lot of times you'll see a guy just try to fire fastballs to a pinch hitter. You haven't seen any live pitching all night. And sometimes they'll kind of advise the pitcher to tune it up instead of dial it down. Cahill very confident with 79, 80 mile an hour pitches here to Murphy. There is a fastball, and Murphy works the count to 3-2. Ground ball, first base, Barton's got it. And the Rangers strand Hamilton. Cahill continues to get it done. A 2-hit shutout through 7.
Nothing. Josh and Tom earlier today trading places over at Southwest Airlines. Few of the Rangers working the gates. I tried to board the flight with a special letter. Let's see what happens.
From Nolan. Dear Southwest Airlines, please let Jim Knox board a plane to somewhere out of state. Sincerely, Nolan Ryan. Nolan. I mean, as much as I would love Jim Knox out of state. Nolan. I don't know who this Nolan guy is.
Nolan.
I don't know. No. You might have to go find a bus somewhere.
Bus? Where's the bus stop?
Somewhere that way, but find out who that name is and let us know.
Have a good one.
Okay. Take care.
Well, the partnership between the Rangers and Southwest in its 17th year. And yeah, today, Darren Oliver on the mound now. David Murphy, Tommy Hunter are out there at left field. More on that in a moment. Coco Crisp speeding his way to first, and Darren Oliver greeted rudely. The ball getting away in left, and boy, just like that, you've got a runner at second and not at first, getting things going in the 8th inning. And Josh Hamilton, who has been solid, if not spectacular, in left field, just couldn't collect it cleanly. And Coco Crisp at second base against Darren Oliver now. We'll get you that Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. And Oliver, of course, has been a revelation this year, coming back to the Rangers from the Angels. Great numbers. And just to finish what Jim Knox was telling you about, D.O. today with David Murphy and Tommy Hunter traded places with Southwest employees out there. They actually marshaled in the planes. They made boarding announcements out there, took boarding passes. But now their regular gig. And we go single E7 on that last one, by the way, and go back to Jim real quick.
Yeah, Josh and Tom, the nice thing about it is the Ranger players like Darren Oliver, Tommy Hunter, David Murphy, they are also welcoming some of the people back into the fine state of Texas off their flights and stuff. So they are all having a good time. A lot of the passengers very surprised to see those guys in their uniforms, giving them a handshake, taking pictures, signing autographs. So everybody had a good time out there today.
Nice for the Rangers to do that. Thank you, Jim. And now Barton, normally, and we talked about this yesterday, Tag, not a guy you'd think would be bunting because he's a first baseman, but Barton actually has 11 sacrifice bunts. That's a huge total for a first baseman.
A good game for Coco Crisp. He's hit the ball hard 4 times tonight. Got a couple of hits. Lined out to first, lined out to center.
Taylor Teagarden in the game will make that play, and there's a 12th successful sack already for Barton. It has been close to 30 years since a first baseman has had that many sacrifice bunts. And now you got some danger. Suzuki, who's already accounted for the A's run tonight with a homer, is going to bat with a runner at third and just 1 out. Infield's going to come in. With the infield in, it plops down in right. It is 2-0 A's. Kurt Suzuki. They call him Kurt Clutch. At least they used to back in college. He's got a 6th inning RBI and an 8th inning RBI. 2-0 the Athletics on top.
They just blooped it into right field. That's all he had to do, though, with the infield in. Bloop it over the infield.
Now you got to worry about Jack Cust, power hitting lefty. Again, single E7 is how they scored it on the ball that Crisp hit.
And no one in the league goes to the left field line and holds a man at first, a fast man at first like Josh does, and he would have done it then. The ball just slipped out of his hand. First time I've seen Josh do that this year. He's been just about impeccable on that play.
Quickly 0-2 to Cust. Well, they say no one's perfect, and that is true. Hamilton is certainly in line to be considered for a Gold Glove this year. Runner goes on 0-2. Taylor Teagarden throws, and not in time. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, got a real nice jump. And again, the A's have a man in scoring position. I'll take you back to Coco Crisp hitting that ball towards Josh, opening the inning. As soon as that ball just kind of squirted away, Coco Crisp turned it on.
If he was going all the way and Josh fielded it cleanly, he would have thrown him out by 10 or 15 feet, just like he threw Ibar out the other night. Good game for Crisp, though. Swinging the bat.
Oh, he's got some pennant chase pedigree, that's for sure. Big part of what the Red Sox did a few years ago. Checking out our forward leaderboard, the Ranger bullpen beyond solid since the All-Star break, but already a run allowed here in the 8th. Cust smashing it in to right. Suzuki comes to third, another bobble, and now Suzuki's coming in. That's 2 misplays by 2 normally solid Ranger fielders out there in the outfield. First Hamilton, then Cruz. And it's 3-0.
Yeah, that's very uncharacteristic. In fact, over the last month or so, those 2 guys have saved games, saved runs with great defense. They just had a couple of bobbles in this inning. Very rare. You don't see it very often with those guys.
Boy, 3 singles, 2 outfield errors, and a sac bunt for the A's to pull away a bit here in the 8th inning. Nelly's coming up, and yeah, just never really had it. Alexei Ogando's been warming in the Ranger bullpen, and he'll be called on right now. You got a couple of righties due up, and Kuzminoff and Ellis. So Ron Washington will send Oliver out and Ogando in. It's 3-0 A's in the 8th.
This is an 0-2 to Hudler. Swinging a little flare, right center, in trouble. Coming hard as rear. He dives. He caught it. One out. Against Gary DeSarcina of the Angels. On the pitch. Swung on. Line to center. Rear is there. He's calling. He's got it. Oh, perfect game. Kenny Rogers bombed on the mound. 27 up. 27 down on July 28th.
Well, not quite a perfect game tonight for Trevor Cahill of the A's, but boy, not bad. A 2-hitter. And the A's on top now 3-0. Alexei Ogando deals to the plate. Kuzminoff with a foul. A 1.37 ERA. A lot of Ranger relievers right now, Tom, with ERAs in the 1s.
That's been a strong part of the Rangers season this year, is the job out of the bullpen. One thing they should be getting more as the season goes into the last 2 months is a little more rest. And I think the starting staff is, with Cliff Lee, is better equipped as a group to pitch deeper into ball games, which should allow the bullpen fewer innings in the last couple of months than they're accustomed to.
Colby Lewis went 7 tonight. He struck out 8 batters tonight.
That was a good game for Colby. Threw 116 pitches, gave up 1 run, home run. You'll win a lot of games if you do that through 7 innings every time out. Unfortunately, the Rangers have run into a very good young pitcher tonight, Trevor Cahill. And it's been tough going offensively.
A lot of young pitchers making their mark in the majors right now. Cahill certainly is among them. Good move. Almost got it. Crowd wanted some help from that first base umpire, Doug Eddings.
He was going, but he got back. Great camera shot right there. You see the hand get the base.
A rip and a miss. Kuzminov sent away. He struck out twice tonight.
Well, Lagondo's got a great arm. He's throwing 96, 97 every time out. Pretty good movement on that pitch, too. That moved away from him almost like a cutter. You can get that kind of movement on a 96-mile-an-hour pitch. You're going to give up very few hits.
Now the batter, Mark Ellis. A smash to short. Oh, a nice little pick by Elvis Andrews to finally end the inning. 2 runs. There were 2 Ranger errors. They've made 3 of those tonight. 3-0. Oakland on top. Sponsor of youth baseball throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Well, as much as some of us would like to be clever and say Trevor Cahill has put the K into Cahill, he really hasn't done that tonight, Tag. He's got 4 strikeouts, but what he does have is 12 ground ball outs. And he's just cruising right now, up 3-0 in the 8th.
Yeah, and strikeouts is not always the only way to determine whether a pitcher has been dominant or not. He can be dominant with a lot of strikeouts, but you have to say this is a dominating effort tonight by Cahill. He's given up 2 hits, a soft ground ball and a soft line drive single to center, and really only 1 ball hit hard. That was Michael Young's line shot out to left field in the 4th inning. So he has been in complete command of this game. He's walked 3, 2 soft hits. And while there's not a lot of strikeouts, the true test of dominating is how many balls have been hit hard, and there's only been 1.
Davis is going to loft one to left, first out of the 8th. We go to Dana Larson.
Josh, thank you very much. Still plenty of time for the Rangers to get back in this one, and when all is said and done, we will wrap it up. Steve Busby will join me for analysis. He will answer your text the analyst questions. We'll have Angels highlights from their game with the Red Sox earlier this afternoon. And on the college football front, we'll hear from a couple of good buddies. You know, Mac Brown and Bob Stoops. All of that and much more coming up right after the game, guys.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. Crowd of 38,269 on a Wednesday night. The Rangers would love to reward them with a comeback effort here. It would help to get Cahill the heck off the mound. He's at 104 pitches. 2 of those 104 have ended up as base hits. Blanco, a couple ground ball outs tonight, finds himself behind. The A's have made a defensive adjustment. Davis has moved over to left field now, taking over for Matt Watson. Gabe Gross is in the game in right. And he will hit where Watson was, number 7.
Cahill once this year has thrown 113 pitches. That's his high. And once he's pitched 8 innings. That was against the Angels earlier.
Knocks it down, collects it. Another ground ball out. Now you figure he's good for 8 tonight, and then they'll turn it to the bullpen. Craig Breslow is ready if it comes to a lefty versus lefty situation that matters. Bourbon, a lefty, due up after Andrews. Of course, their closer is Andrew Bailey, Rookie of the Year last year. And the Rangers, though, have beaten Bailey a couple times. Now it rolls to the top of the order, and Andrews 0 for 3 tonight. Not quite the strike throwing machinery put into use like Cliff Lee last night. But right around that strike zone has been Mr. Cahill. So far in this series, the Rangers have scored in only 2 out of 18 innings. The A's are, and we kind of hinted at this when we came on the air yesterday, Tag, they are indeed all about pitching now. So it's keeping them afloat. Another good guy going for them tomorrow, Vin Mazzaro, who's lost only twice all year. I guess just a gentle reminder, nothing's easy. The Angels are down a bit right now. They lost again today. But they've still got some weaponry. They've just traded for Dan Herron. Towards second, and it is a 2-hitter through 8 for the 22-year-old Trevor Cahill. 3-0 A's our score. Ranger Baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. By Progressive, for a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Big crowd, big expectations tonight. But Trevor Cahill, for the second time in the last 2 summers, has clamped down on the Rangers in this ballpark. He had a 1-hitter for 7 innings here last September. Got a 2-hitter through 8 tonight as Matt Harrison will take over for the Rangers. 4th Ranger pitcher of the night. Colby Lewis started and went 7. Certainly pitched well enough to win. The only run he allowed, that was the Kurt Suzuki homer. Right away, Gabe Gross swinging away. 1 up, 1 down. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. Time for the Progressive fan of the game. It has to be Jennifer. She is expecting twins, and you already picked out the names they are.
Well, we originally thought that it was going to be Hambone and Cliff, but now we're thinking Josh and Tom.
Josh and Tom.
Oh,
very nice. Well, here's the bag, here's the hat, here's the shirt. Congratulations. Best of luck in the future. Way to go there. All right, Josh.
And had it been triplets, Noxie would have been the 3rd one.
Don't burden those poor children with those names.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Among the 38,269 in attendance tonight, that one caught chalk, and Rajay Davis just continues to wear out the Rangers in every way imaginable. Now the ball gets away, and Teagarden's got to run out and pick it up. Otherwise, Davis goes to 3rd.
They just beat that ball right into the ground. Michael's having to play in because Davis has already beat out a bunt. And because Michael's in, that ball just goes right over his head. You got to respect the bunt in that situation with Davis up there. He took away the bunt, and unfortunately the high chopper turned into a double. Not much you can do about that.
Davis is the guy, we mentioned it, just killed the Rangers multiple times a year ago. None of his slayings resonated louder than that pinch hit walk-off triple in Oakland last year. That's a play on which Nelly Cruz hurt his ankle, and I think a very underrated reason, Tag, why the Rangers faded down the stretch last year. They didn't have Nelly.
That didn't help, that's for sure.
Davis, a one-time 38th round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's with his 3rd team now. The A's finally given him a real opportunity, and he's nailed it. 1-1 now to Pennington. High pop-up. Andrews backing on it. Called off now by Hamilton. Tell you about the Stretch Drive season ticket plan real quick. You can catch 3 games against the Red Sox, 5 against the Yankees. Some Angels and A's in there as well. Save up to 43% off the gate price. And it's your last chance to guarantee your option to purchase seats for any postseason action that may be here. 972 Rangers or TexasRangers.com gets it done. By the way, the Rangers in the bottom of the 9th will have 2, 3, 4 in the order coming up to set up Hamilton and Cruz. Cruz backing on this one, turns around, finds it, and the Rangers will have their opportunity. They need 3 to tie and 4 to win. Bourbon to lead it off when we come back. and Andrew Bailey still suffering from back spasms. The hope was he'd be able to pitch at some point in this series. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So they go right back to Michael Wirtz, the guy that gave up the game-winning walk-off homer last night to Nelson Cruz. Wirtz summoned here with a 5.09 ERA. And will attempt to lock this thing down for the Oakland Athletics. They're going to try to get back to within 7.5 of the Rangers. Deny the Rangers of their 60th win of the year. And maybe a little bit of psychological lift here, Tag. I mean, first of all, Cahill is not out there anymore. And second of all, last time they saw Wirtz, he was walking forlornly off the field.
Well, it's tough to get 3 off any pitcher in 1 inning. But obviously, you've got a better chance to do it if Cahill's out of the game. You got a better chance to do it if Bailey doesn't come into the game.
Wirtz does have 3 saves this year. And Bourbon to get it going. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Oakland A's tonight. 0-2-3. A line score we haven't seen the likes of in a while for the Rangers. The Ranger hits tonight have come from Josh Hamilton, what new, and Nelson Cruz to extend his hit streak to 16. Wirtz known for his slider, the former Chicago Cub. Again, the Angels have already lost today at home to Boston again. On the ground towards the hole, past Kuzman off Pennington unloads. It gets away from Barton. Bourbon is on, the ball trickles into the dugout, and that's a break. Bourbon can go to second.
And Bourbon going to second is a break because you can't get a double play. Rangers need 3 runs, so they have to have a lot more guys get on base before they can get 3 runs. But it does take away the double play. Barton was trying to stay on the bag, catch the ball, and maybe be able to get Bourbon. It's a really nice play by Pennington to field it and get off a strong throw. And if the ball's caught at first base, it actually would have been a close play.
I wonder if that's not an infield hit and an error on Barton.
An error on somebody.
Here is Michael Young. He'll take a strike. The error actually goes to Pennington, we're told. And yeah, you're right. I mean, Barton was trying to stretch and hold it. Never did leave his feet, and that cost him. Michael Young was put on yesterday by Wirtz. You saw the note, Michael 3 for 4 lifetime against him. They never did want to pitch to him yesterday. But here Wirtz is ahead 0-2. And finishes off Michael. He's had a tough night. That's a very rare 3 strikeout night for Michael Young.
Wirtz will throw an occasional fastball, but mostly that's what you're going to see is sliders. Last night he hung one to Nelly Cruz, belt high, middle of the plate. Nelly hit it out of the ballpark. What you'd like to see is one more guy get on and see if the same thing couldn't happen.
Wirtz brings it. Vladdy's up 2-0. Josh Hamilton looms on deck, and they've got a lefty working in the bullpen. Craig Breslow He's grabbed the ball out there.
If Vladdy gets on, I can't see any way that Wirtz will face Josh Hamilton.
Taking it's 2-1. Boy, and I guess that's all you can ask for. Give your big boppers a chance to tie this thing with one swing. Vlad still has to get on here. Boy, just fouls. He tugged it right down that third baseline. Rangers still without an extra base hit tonight. Vladdy knocks it into the crowd. The 2-2 from Wirtz. Pegged in the left base hit. Bourbon chugging to the plate. The Rangers are on the board. Hamilton's coming up.
Well, that's what you wanted to see as a hanger. Unfortunately, he's not going to be in there any longer.
They want the lefty to face the lefty. And Josh Hamilton, on the cusp of an MVP season, will have his opportunity right after Vlad's base hit. 3-1, and Hamilton represents that tying run here in the bottom of the ninth. We'll tell you about the new Oakland pitcher when we come back in just a moment on Fox Sports. Them to look for more now. Josh Hamilton will bat against a guy with his biochemistry degree from Yale. He doesn't really need all this, but he wants all this. He leads the American League in games now. He's about to get into his 50th. He's going to try to outsmart Josh Hamilton, and then he's got to maybe deal with Nelson Cruz. First one's a strike in a 3-1 game, bottom of the ninth.
Josh is saying to himself, I hope I see that same pitch again.
He's down 0-2.
And Josh was anticipating a breaking ball. Got a couple of fastballs.
Well, it's been called both ways out there tonight. Unfortunately for Josh and the Rangers, that was called ball one. Got him. They went and got the lefty to face the lefty, and now Nelson Cruz to the plate.
He went right after him with fastballs, and it might have surprised Josh a little bit. Or I'm sure for most lefties in that situation would see a lot of breaking balls, but Breslow doing fastballs.
Nelson Cruz hit a 2-run homer late yesterday. 10th inning. Won the game. Now looking to tie the game. And Taylor Teagarden is on deck, remember. Benji Molina was pinch hit for him. And it wouldn't surprise you, since Taylor only has one hit in the big leagues this year, if they at least pitch carefully to Nelly.
Well, you got a fastball to hit.
You never want to have that winning run come to the plate. But Nelly's got a 16-game hitting streak right now. Taylor's 1 for 27. And Nelly is just trying to end, well, at least tie this thing here, taking some big cuts.
I give Breslow some credit. He came in and faces Hamilton and Cruz and goes right after him with nothing but fastballs. Nothing fancy. Not trying to trick anybody. Because here it is. If you can hit it. So far, that's what he said.
Another fastball. Nelly was down in the count. Remember last time up, Tom, he was at 0-2, and he hit one pretty deep, right to the warning track in right center. This time he can't connect, and the ball game's over. The Rangers have what they wanted. They had that tying man up there twice. And it was Hamilton and Cruz, but Breslow comes in, strikes out both of them. A 3-1 final for the Oakland A's. Trevor Cahill, 2 hits allowed in 8 innings to get that 10th win of the year. The A's are back to within 7.5. And they are not just going to roll over and go away. Rangers Live coming up in just a moment. Again, the final 3-1 Athletics.